This is the control tower. Make a left turn. Over.
Thank you for tuning in. This is DJ Bob Fresh from SEGAShiro.com, the Sega resource. Today we're continuing our old school coverage, and this is a personal favorite of mine. This is Galactic Attack. Originally published and developed by Taito in 1994, this game made it over to the SEGA Saturn in 1995. In actuality, this is a game that had actually many different names. Probably the most epic and most awesome is RayForce, which it originally debuted in the arcade as. However, when it got ported to the SEGA Saturn, when Acclaim got the North American release rights, it renamed it to Galactic Attack. In Japan, the game, due to some trademark problems, was actually known as Layer Section, and to make matters even worse, in Europe arcades, it was known as Gunlock. However, despite the name, this is a brilliant shoot-'em-up. In the title, the player pilots a ship called the RVA-818 Exley, and it's outfitted with two major weapons. One is a primary weapon laser that you fire straight forward like in any other shooter, and then where the kink is, or when the neat gameplay mechanic of this title, is that your secondary weapon is a laser that shoots downwards into the screen, so it adds a great feeling of depth. And what that feeling of depth actually does is create a game with an immense amount of scope, especially for a shooter. Shooters are pretty typically straightforward. However, this game has a real sense of environment and epicness because of that depth effect. Over the course of time that you spend playing games, every so often you'll come across one that will fundamentally change how you understand a genre and pretty much make it make sense. This is the game that solidified shooters for me. Prior to playing Galactic Attack or RayForce, I didn't really get them. And after this, it kind of opened up an avenue to understand the genre as a whole and kind of figure out what to appreciate from the title. Specifically, what I love in this game is the weapon balance. So, in very few shooters do you actually ever feel powerful. In this one you do, because as you play well, you get weapon upgrades. You're in fact stronger, and the game gets a little bit easier because of it. So it really rewards you for playing well and kind of maxing out your skills and really learning the level. Now, like most shooters, this kind of comes with the territory. The game is criminally short, having only 7 major levels. However, there are a variety of difficulty levels ranging from normal to very hard, and as you can see, I'm scrolling through them right now. The other cool feature of this is the fact that you can actually invert the screen. And this is pretty cool because if you're willing or hardcore enough, now the game manual does not suggest doing it, you can actually flip a CRT or flip an LCD screen and actually play this game with arcade style resolution. Now, that's a feature that I really like. If you go to the site, to SEGAShiro.com, check it out, we'll actually have footage of it flipped. And that's how we played the game over here because it just feels that much more arcade perfect. In terms of graphics, the F3 arcade board was pretty tight, and while it's sprite-based, it looks really good. The art design is impeccable, and it has aged really, really well. Now, there are a few times where you'll see a little bit of pixelation, or, you know, some parts might not look as clean as other parts, but on a whole, the game delivers visually. I would love to see an HD remake of this game. The sense of scale and scope is so dynamic that it is well worth the asking price, which, pound for pound, this is probably one of the best shooters you can get on the SEGA Saturn. Sonically, all the sound effects like the shooting and the missiles sound very, very strong and impactful. The music is solid. I like it. It's pretty quirky. It's got a bit of that sort of 16-bit, 32-bit MIDI feel, and yet at the same time it's got, it's almost like a score. So that's a lot of fun. It's very, very catchy, to say the least. Now, the title does have a pretty involved story, however, it never really impedes on the gameplay. It's pretty much resigned to the manual. And it's very Terminator-esque, where humanity creates robots. These robots then take over the Earth, and you, as one of the last remaining remnants of humankind, board your superpowered starfighter and go out to take out the con-humans, as they're called. The SEGA Saturn could really manhandle the Taito F3 arcade board, and this game's proof positive of that. This game even inspired 2 sequels, both called Ray Storm and Ray Crisis. However, this one is still the best one of the trilogy. Ray Storm is awesomely fun and an influential title in the world of shooters. This is a must-have for your SEGA Saturn collection. This is DJ Fob Fresh saying keep on gaming.